Hi, I'm Trudy with Heal Wellness and Therapy, and today my friend is joining me to do a very easy, modified flow therapeutic yoga class. Now, oftentimes in the yoga world, we do something called Sun Salutations or Surya Namaskar, either to begin your day or throughout your day to create an increase of energy of your body. What we're going to do today is an adaptive version of Sun Salutation so that any person can do it without causing any injury to their body. To begin today's class, we're going to start with a breathing exercise. And the breathing exercise we're going to do is a breathing dissociation between the diaphragm and the rib cage called three-part breath. So let's place our right hand on our chest and our left hand on our belly so that our hand sits just above our belly button, resting on our diaphragm. Allow yourself to make sure that you have motion of your pelvis forward and motion of your pelvis back. Find the middle of the range of that. Sit your body nice and tall, but make sure that your rib cage is forward enough that you feel weight going through the fronts of your legs so that your base of support is your entire seated surface. In that position, gently lengthen the back of your neck and settle your chin in. Very nice. Rest your tongue to the roof of your mouth and keep your eyes closed if it allows you, focusing on your breath. Now slowly begin to deeply inhale into your belly. Continue inhaling into your chest and then hold your breath. Slowly exhaling from the chest first, followed by exhaling from the belly. Inhale into the belly first. Inhaling into the chest second, full expansion of air, holding your breath. Exhaling out through the chest and then out through the belly. 2 more breaths. Inhaling into the belly. Inhaling into the chest. And retain your breath. Hold your breath. Exhaling out through the chest. Exhaling out through the belly. And inhaling into the belly. Inhaling into the chest. Holding your breath. Exhaling out through the chest first. Exhaling out through the belly last. Hands are to your heart. Now, moving on to Sun Salutation or Surya Namaskar. Today we're going to do it in an adaptive or modified way, more of a therapeutic yoga, to allow those of you that might have balance difficulties to be able to participate in a morning yoga practice that will help you in kind of igniting your body and getting you going for the day without really compromising your balance. So we're going to start this particular class in child's pose or kneeling, sitting back on your heels. Now, for those of you that have problem with kneeling, I really like yoga jellies. I find that for anybody that has any sensitivities on their knees, it allows you to be able to do a little bit more kneeling than you could normally do. However, if you cannot afford a silicone pad to kind of protect your knees or any sort of knee padding, there's a beautiful, easy way to be able to do that. If you take a hand towel and you kind of make it into a donut so that there's a circle in the center, you can actually use that to kind of float your kneecap to be able to do exercises in kneeling that you wouldn't normally be able to perform. Okay, finding your way to child's pose for me. Making sure that the hips and the knees, the ankles and the toes are all in alignment. Gently bringing the belly onto the thighs, the rib cage down onto the knees, lengthening through the neck, settling the chin, having the arms nice and long if that's comfortable for you. If you do have shoulder impingement or shoulder pain, just allowing yourself to soften your elbows in that position. Beginning with a nice deep inhale into the belly, into the low back. And then as you're exhaling, imagine settling the tailbone, imagine reaching the rib cage a little bit more forward and down. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling, finding that length through the low back as the tailbone tucks under. One more breath, nice deep inhaling inward. And exhaling, relaxing. From here, slowly walking yourself up into table pose, or hands and knees is the common name, making sure that you stack the hips directly underneath, on top of the knees, the wrists and the elbows underneath the shoulders. Have the neck nice and long and the chin is nice and tucked. Going up to begin Sun Salutation in kneeling, walking your hands back to get to your thighs, gently coming up onto your thighs, stacking your knees and your hips, having your tailbone in a neutral position, pelvis in neutral, rib cage stacked on top of the pelvis. Hands to the center of the heart. Beginning with an inhale, bringing the arms up. And then on the exhale, hinging at your hips, bringing your hands into the floor, finding that same tabletop position. Then inhaling, sinking the spine, lifting the tailbone, lengthening the neck, looking up for cow. Exhaling, curling under, tucking the tailbone, lengthening the back of the neck, and gazing into the belly button. From here, inhaling back to the center, and then exhaling there. Starting with the left leg, inhale the left leg forward to where the left hand is, and take an exhale. And then on the inhale, slowly walk your hands up onto your thigh. And then on the exhale, stack the hip on top of the knee and tuck the tailbone under. A little bit of a balance challenge here, but hands to heart. Inhale, bringing the hands all the way up. And then exhale, forward bending back over that left knee, slowly bringing the left leg back through that exhale. Finding hands and knees. Taking an inhale, sinking under, turning the toes under. And then on the exhale, tucking under and pushing back to downward dog. Keeping the knees bent if you need to. Tailbone lifted, rib cage neutral, neck nice and long, gazing between the knees, pushing into the index fingers and the thumbs. Deep inhale here. Find the length through the hamstrings. As you exhale, can you straighten the knees or push into the heels? Nice deep inhale. And exhale. And slow, deep inhale. Opening up to that whole posterior compartment and exhaling here. Finally, inhaling deep into the belly. And then on the exhale, transitioning the weight forward, bending the knees, coming back down onto hands and knees. Taking a breath here to walk your hands backward, finding your way back up into a kneeling position, stacking the hips on top of the knees, tailbone gently, bringing it under rib cage, bringing it slightly forward to get alignment through the body, hands to the center of the heart. Taking an inhale, reaching the arms all the way up, exhaling, hip hinging, keeping the abdominals tight, hands to the floor, finding hands and knees. Inhaling, sinking the belly down, lifting the head, lifting the tailbone. Exhaling, curling everything under, tucking the tailbone, tucking the neck, finding length through the bottom half. Inhaling, coming back to the center position. Then just exhaling there, tightening the abdominals. Now with the right leg. Inhale, stepping the right foot forward towards the right hand. And then exhaling there. Inhaling, bringing the hands up onto the thigh, bringing the left hip back under the knee, and then exhaling, tucking the tailbone under. Balance challenge, hands to the heart. Inhale, lifting all the way up, and then exhale, hinging back over onto the mat, stepping that leg back through that exhale. Inhaling, sinking down into cow, lifting the head, lifting the tailbone, turning the toes under, and then starting your exhale and pushing back into downward dog, bending the knees, settling the heels, lifting the tailbone, keeping the rib cage in alignment, lengthening the neck, looking through the knees, weight into the index fingers and the thumbs. Now, deep inhale into downward dog. Find that length through the whole back side of the body. As you exhale, can you push further into your heels, gently straighten your knees, or begin to lift your tailbone upward? without changing the rib cage position. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. And one more nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Now taking this inhale, getting some tightening through the abdominals, and as you exhale, shifting your weight forward, bending your knees, coming to hands and knees to begin to transition onto your belly. So slowly walking yourself down onto your elbows, dropping yourself down onto your belly, allowing yourself to let your tailbone gently tuck under. I'm going to remove her jellies right now for her, keeping the knees and the ankles and the hips all in alignment, finding yourself in a position of Cobra. So taking the elbows, stacking them directly underneath the shoulders, tucking the tailbone under, having the rib cage so it's nice and in a stable neutral position, neck is long, chin is tucked in, gaze is between the thumbs. Now let's do a little bit of strengthening for where every one of us is weak, right between these shoulder blades. So taking your palms and turning your palms upward, thumbs are now out, having your forearms onto the mat, but beginning to try to open your forearms and rotate your arms out without that actually occurring, starting to feel the contraction of the muscles between your shoulder blades, feeling a nice good shaking happening as you begin to get the muscles of this upper body really nice and contracted, keeping your tailbone settled to put not too much compression through your low back. Taking a deep inhale and an exhale. Doing one more deep inhale and an exhale. From here, slowly turning the palms back over, gently lowering yourself down onto the mat, placing the head down, and once in that position, allowing yourself to rotate yourself over onto your back, finding yourself laying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the mat, shoulder blades rolled underneath you, neck nice and long, chin settled, palms upward, staying in that position to do just a tiny bit more opening through our hips, taking our right knee to our chest, hugging our knee, taking a nice deep inhale, exhaling, pulling our knee nice and deep into our chest. Slowly releasing the right foot to the floor, taking the left knee to the chest. Once the knee is to the chest, taking a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, slowly pulling that knee into the chest. Releasing the left foot to the floor. Once the left foot is to the floor, gently sliding the right leg down the mat, placing the left foot onto the midpoint of the right thigh. Taking the right hand, reaching up and over, grabbing the left hand, left knee, left hand stays on the floor, lengthening the neck. Allowing yourself to slowly start to pull the knee across until you begin to let the pelvis lift, but don't let it lift yet. Now you're ready to begin your spinal twist. Now start with a nice long deep inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lift the pelvis, slowly lift the low back, and finally lift the rib cage, keeping that shoulder blade engaged onto the floor. Lengthen through the back, the neck, settle the chin in, and slowly rotate the head towards the left, like you're trying to get your left ear onto the floor. Lengthening through the neck, settling the chin, resting your tongue to the roof of your mouth, slowly closing the veils of the eyes. Now, taking your focus to the spine, nice deep inhale into the belly, and exhaling out. One more slow deep inhale into the belly, and exhaling out. Gently taking the head and de-rotating it back to the center. And then starting at the left shoulder blade, begin to push the rib cage down first, followed by the low back, then followed by the pelvis, until you uncross the leg, placing the right foot on the floor, sliding the left foot on the floor, sliding the right leg out. Taking the left leg, sliding it down the mat, placing the right foot on the midpoint of the left thigh, reaching with that left hand to grab that right knee, right arm stays out to the side of the body. Keeping the right pelvis on the floor, just begin to pull the knee across until you find that point that if you pull any further, you begin to spinal twist, and that's where we'll begin. Now take a nice, deep, long inhale through the spine, and then as you exhale, slowly lift the pelvis, followed by the low back, followed by the rib cage, keeping the right shoulder blade on the mat. Once you find your end position, lengthening through the neck, settling the chin, rotating the head to the right, finding the right ear towards the floor. Then going back to another lengthen of the neck, another gentle settle of the chin, tongue to the roof of the mouth with the eyes closed. Focus now on the trunk, the center of the belly. Nice deep inhale inward. Exhaling, relaxing in the spinal twist. Nice deep inhale in. Exhale, relaxing. Slowly bringing the head back up to the center. Starting at the right shoulder blade and starting to bring the right rib cage down. Followed by the right low back. Followed by the pelvis. Slowly unrotating the hip, placing the right foot on the floor. Sliding the left leg up. Once both legs are up, gently bringing the left knee to the chest, followed by the right knee to the chest. Taking a nice good hug, making sure not to cross the legs, keeping them hip distance. Taking a deep inhale here, and an exhale, pulling those knees to the chest one more time. Taking one foot at a time, resting it down towards the floor. As both feet make their way to the floor, gently settling the tailbone away, flattening the back, finding space in the low back, sliding the left leg down the mat to the corner of the mat. Sliding the right leg down the mat, down to the corner of the mat. Rotating the shoulder blades underneath you, resting the arms out to the side of the body, lengthening through the back of the neck and settling the chin in. Allow your body to now be nice and relaxed and still. Ready for our final part of our yoga for today, Savasana. As we do Savasana today, we're going to do a guided meditation. Begin with your body nice and relaxed onto your mat. Imagine, if you could, that you are just slowly sinking into quicksand. Your body is that heavy onto the floor. Now today, we are going to do a beautiful meditation made very popular by Susan Salzberg on loving kindness. So as you lay there, I would like you to start thinking of this beautiful phrase. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. You can even match each of the phrases with your breath if you like, with the inhale and the exhale. But as your body is still, continue to repeat the phrase, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. As distractions come, and they will, acknowledge the distractions and just begin again. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now what I would like you to do is to think of somebody that is very dear to you, somebody that you love. whether they're still with us or not, really think of that person. As you think of that person, let them have the loving kindness. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Continue repeating the quote, thinking of that person, feeling that person as you think of that person. Accept thoughts and emotions coming, and begin again. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Finally, think of all creatures, human, animals. Think of everyone that we share this beautiful earth with, and give them loving kindness. May all be safe. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all live with ease. May all be safe. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all live with ease. Repeating the phrase, imagining in your heart and in your mind all of those individuals that you come in contact, pets, birds in the sky. Think of everything that moves and lives and is part of your life. May all be safe. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all live with ease. Then, when you're ready, start to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. Very slowly take a nice deep inhale and a nice deep exhale. Taking one leg and gently sliding it up for your foot to meet the mat, followed by the other. And when you're ready, slowly allowing yourself to roll over onto your side. Gently laying there for a minute, taking a nice deep inhale, and then a nice slow exhale. And then on the next inhale, start your exhale, use that top hand and push yourself up into a seated position. Facing me. Hands are to our hearts and smiles are on our faces. Nice deep inhale in and out. Namaste. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Thank you. for joining me today in a therapeutic-based flow class, thinking about Sun Salutation or Surya Namaskar, to really begin to start your day. Now, do you have any questions for me regarding what we did today?
Yes, in the modified Sun Salutation, we started standing on the knees with hands at heart center. Then we inhaled the arms up, and you had me hinge at the hips to arrive at my tabletop or hands and knees. That was really hard for me to do without falling forward.
Yeah.
So how can I do that in a more controlled way?
That's a really great question. And you know, for most of us out there, we really are missing a lot of strength of our hamstrings and a lot of strength of our abdominals. So when you're in a kneeling position, you're fine to stay where you are. But when you're in a kneeling position, true hip hinging means that you have to use the hamstrings to lengthen and your abdominals to stay strong and stable as you bring yourself to hands and knees. Most of us don't have the hamstring strength nor the abdominal strength to perform that function, but with time and continuing to practice yet a modified version of Sun Salutation will allow you to build up that ability to lengthen your hamstrings and to also keep your abdominals and your trunk stable. I will tell you that we do have a video on elongation of hamstrings as well as a video on abdominal facilitation and strengthening. So if you're interested in that and you find when you do kneeling, hip hinging to hands and knees, or if you're a yoga practitioner that does it in standing and doesn't have the ability to forward fold without pushing your hips back, then I would encourage you to start focusing on those hamstrings, making them longer and stronger, and focusing on getting that trunk a little bit more efficient. That's a very, very good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if you like this video, select the like button. Also, any questions, comments you have, leave them for us. We will definitely answer them. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and also the bell that is next to the subscription. Select that so that you will be notified anytime that we have any new videos that are released. Thank you very much. Have a good day.